Right-hand drive countries rejoice, standard range Model 3 orders feel the pain, Elon and the SEC continue their fight, and improvements to version 2 Superchargers may be rolling out. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 508 for March 27th, 2019. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a Model S, X, or 3, please consider using his referral code. Ask your sales representative to use the code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000-mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. For this show, I'm going to sandwich some bad news in between the good news for today's 4 stories. We'll start at the Tesla Motors subreddit today, where for the love of all that is good in this world, we get some hard evidence that right-hand drive countries have nearly reached the end of their wait for Model 3. User Mr. Salty Peanuts posted a picture of a Model 3 heading down I-280 in California bearing dealer plates. Normally, this is no cause for excitement, except that the driver was not in the proper seat for the U.S. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a right-hand drive dual-motor Model 3 was spotted in the wild on the highways of California here in the U.S. It's a rather interesting find, as you wouldn't think that there's much to test for the right-hand drive model. Given Tesla intentionally designed the car to easily swap production between left and right-hand drive, the only real difference should be that the steering wheel is on the opposite side, and the software needs to flip the car status on the center screen to the opposite side as well. Regardless of the reasoning that it was caught out and about, here's a shout of joy to the UK, Australia, and all the other countries that await the right-hand drive version. Your day is almost at hand. Over to Electrek now to start the sour part of the show, as it looks like folks who'd had their delivery dates confirmed for standard range Model 3s are seeing delays. From the article, owners awaiting their vehicles have received messages similar to, quote, "Our apologies, we will need to reschedule your delivery appointment to a later date. A Tesla representative will reach out when we have a better estimate of your delivery timing," end quote. Worse yet, several potential new owners have reported that an attempted upsell was made after delivering the bad news to entice them to upgrade to the Standard Range Plus model. It doesn't really take a rocket scientist to see what's happening here. Q1 was already on the razor's edge for profitability, and delivering a pile of standard range cars right before the end of the quarter would not have helped this. I think what happened here was that Tesla had anticipated the closure of many stores to offset the cost of this, but then got thrown a curveball when circumstances seemed to prevent that action in many instances. So, while they bumped the price back up a bit on the cars that they could, there was no help for them where they have to keep the promise of the base vehicle. In that light, they decided to delay deliveries so as to keep the profitable quarters coming, hoping that by the end of Q2, they'll have everything figured out. It should be noted that many Standard Range Plus vehicles have been delivered, as the article notes, and as my Twitter feed has corroborated. Understandable what happened, just doesn't make the pain of going back to the waiting game any less for these owners. In the near 3 years of doing this show, I don't think we've seen near the volatility in the product lineup as it relates to both features and price as we have here recently. I think we'll all be much happier once all the pieces have settled in the Model 3 production puzzle, hopefully producing far less volatility than we've seen as of late. We move over to Teslarati now, where the latest chapter of Elon versus the SEC is playing out. Recently, the SEC countered Elon's legal team regarding the reasons they believed Elon did not hold up his end of the deal that was struck after taking enforcement action following his tweet about taking the company private. Elon's legal team countered again, saying, quote, "Musk's belief that his tweet did not require pre-approval was correct. Every hallmark of immateriality is present. The tweet restated previously disclosed information, used generalized terms, was aspirational and optimistic, and caused no reaction in after-hours trading," end quote. However, their mic drop moment came afterwards, saying, quote, "The key question is whether Musk complied with Tesla's policy, not whether the SEC is satisfied with Tesla's policy," end quote. The SEC's latest move now is to request Judge Allison Nathan, presiding over the case, to make a decision without allowing Elon to testify. The SEC says that, quote, "there are no material issues or of disputed fact," end quote, which is the basis of the request. This is just one layman's opinion here, but it seems to me that if the SEC was interested in justice and protecting investors, rather than trying to win a pissing contest with Elon, they would allow him to testify. It would seem that human egos are, and have long been, in the way here, or we'd never have come to this to begin with. There are no current deadlines looming in the case to look out for, but I'll keep you all apprised of the latest relevant events as they happen. Okay, we'll end the show on a positive note, heading back to the Tesla Motors subreddit. User Privater Bach has posted a snapshot of a Model 3 reaching a 147 kilowatt charge rate at a 44% state of charge, while charging at a version 2 supercharger location in Petaluma, California. This would seem to indicate that the power boost for version 2 superchargers that was mentioned in the Supercharger version 3 announcement is making it into the world. However, we've yet to see any evidence of a non-Model 3 receiving any of the benefits announced at the version 3 supercharger event. The poster says that they're running firmware 2019.7.11, so if you're there or above, maybe pay a visit to a nearby supercharger on a battery under 40% and see what you can get. And while you're at it, tweet me and let me know what you find. That's it for today's show. As usual, a word about Foam Daddy takes us home. Foam Daddy is a nationwide company in the U.S. that sells and rents foam and snow machines. They're also proud to announce the arrival of the Real Snow Machine. This allows anyone to produce real snow in any temperature. Check them out at foamdaddy.com. My many thanks as well to our super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. They are Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Kundici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Robert Healy, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Blake Thompson, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Michael Pastroni, Travis and Cheyenne Rush, Cookie UK, Chris Hovis, Craig Murphy, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Bien Concepcion, and Nathan Garza. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again on Friday. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.